Breaking news that could affect your commute. Take a look at this mess on I-75, part of a dangerous day on Metro Detroit roads. We have the very latest. Also, a strict new abortion bill is very close to becoming law. It's part of a long-term challenge to Roe versus Wade, which could have a big impact in Michigan. Ben.
Karen, rain is back at Fort Live Radar, and it is the first of many chances in the 7-day forecast. How much of this is going to end up on the weekend? We'll answer that right now. First at 4.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4. Breaking news from I-75 and Outer Drive. Take a look at the situation. Rescue crews rushed to pull a man out of the cab of a semi-truck following a rollover accident involving a gravel hauler on I-75. Now, this happened about 1. Video from Sky 4 shows firefighters rescuing the man, loading him onto a stretcher and then rushing him to the hospital. State police say he only suffered minor injuries. Right now, Sky 4 is over the scene, and this is southbound I-75 at Outer Drive. You can see gravel spilled all over the freeway, so avoid the area if you can. MDOT has shut down the freeway starting at Fort Street. We'll keep you posted if it reopens. We've also been following this serious crash involving a semi-truck that shut down both directions of US 23 for hours. The semi was heading north on US 23 in the area of Northfield Township when it hit a car, crossed the median, and then crashed into a pickup heading south. The northbound lanes reopened earlier this afternoon, but those southbound lanes are still closed at 6 Mile Road. State police tell us there are serious injuries. We're going to have a live update for you on that crash tonight at 5. Here in Detroit, neighbors are upset after 2 people are killed in a high-speed crash connected to street racing. This happened on 7 Mile Road late Tuesday night. A man driving a Dodge Challenger slammed into a car driven by Eugenia Friesen, who police say had the right of way. Friesen and her boyfriend, Sherman Wright, both died in that crash. Neighbors are frustrated with people speeding through the area. We're working the story and talking to people who live in that area, and we'll have their stories tonight at 5. Detroit police investigating a disturbing discovery on the city's east side. A woman's body has been found stashed inside a dumpster. Investigators were called to the scene near the Parkview Tower off of East Lafayette. That is just a block from the Coleman A. Young Community Center, and that happened about 9 o'clock this morning. Right now, no word on the victim's identity. We have seen sunshine and 70 degrees today, but now some of us could see a little bit of rain in the next few hours, depending on where you are. So, Ben, how are things shaping up?
Yeah, there are showers out there, Karen, on Fort Live Radar. And even though these aren't going to last very long, it's not good to see these during the evening commute. We've got a couple areas here in parts of Oakland and Macomb County. Because of the way this line is sort of settling south, you may end up with a little bit more than the rest of us get. But right now, some of the more organized showers are right around the shoreline of Lake St. Clair. So from Mount Clemens up through New Baltimore, Algonac, Marine City, you're all getting wet right now, and that line's going to slowly make its way south. Still could see some sprinkles around at least through about 8 o'clock, but everything should be wrapping up by that point. Then we're going to be dry tonight. Temperatures really on our side going into the weekend. The only question remains how much of that rain is going to return, and we'll look at all that in just a few minutes. Karen.
Well, there are new signs of tension between the United States and Iran, but a key ally question is it all necessary? The State Department has ordered all non-emergency employees and families to leave Iraq. U.S. troops in Syria and Iraq have been put on high alert because of, quote, credible threats from Iran and its proxies. But the British Ministry of Defense is backing one of its generals who says there is no evidence of an increased threat. Iran says while it won't negotiate with the United States, it does not want a war. First at 4, we are tracking other big stories that are making headlines across America. Take a look at this video. Terrifying scene from Oklahoma showing window washers just swinging wildly at the top of a skyscraper. It looks like it's a movie, but oh, it's very real. The workers went back and forth over 50 floors up in the air, smashing into the building several times. Now, firefighters say the workers were on the lift and were able to actually catch a rope that was thrown to them and then get that lift to the roof. No serious injuries were reported. Moving to Colorado, where a pair of teenage suspects from the STEM school shooting learned what they have been charged with. Prosecutors just now entering 48 charges of murder, attempted murder, and other crimes against the two who were students at the school. The 18-year-old suspect you see in court didn't speak. The shooting killed 18-year-old Kendra Castillo and injured 8 others. The other suspect is a 16-year-old, and that teen is being tried as an adult. We are just learning about a new ruling that will make it easier for states to execute prisoners facing the death. The Justice Department now says the FDA does not have the authority to regulate drugs used for executions. The ruling posted online says it doesn't make sense for the agency to make sure the drugs are safe since they're used to kill people. But the improper use of drugs can make lethal injection a very painful process, and some argue it is torture. The decision opens the door for states to import drugs to kill prisoners without FDA approval. From Alabama to Michigan and across the country, the battle over abortion is reigniting. Pro-life activists feel now is the time to act. Today, Alabama's governor considering a bill to outlaw just about all abortions in that state. The legislature has sent the governor a bill that targets doctors, making it illegal to perform abortions at almost any stage. Only exception when there is a serious health risk to the mother. Providers could go to prison for up to 99 years. And this year, 29 states have introduced a bill with new abortion restrictions. Here in Michigan, the Republican majority legislature just passed bills banning a common second trimester abortion procedure, except when necessary to save a woman's life. Governor Whitmer has promised to veto the bills. Other states, like New York, have passed bills protecting a woman's right to choose. Both sides believe the Supreme Court decision, Roe v. Wade, is under attack. So let's bring in Paula Tubman. She's going to take a look at why overturning the ruling is really becoming a real possibility.
Hi, Karen. Yeah, you know what? There's often little room for agreement when it comes to the issue of pro-choice and pro-life. But one thing that Alabama law did produce was agreement on one single issue, and that is the ground has now been softened for the reversal of Roe versus Wade. And that means something very specific to Michigan. Michigan has a very restrictive law against abortion currently on the books. Should Roe v. Wade be overturned, current Michigan law would make abortions illegal in the state immediately. But because federal law supersedes or outweighs state law, abortions are legal. That said, the ruling in Alabama is seen very differently, depending on if you are a pro-choice advocate or a pro-life advocate. Marissa Kovac is with the ACLU, a partner with Planned Parenthood of Michigan.
An anti-abortion law that restricts women's access to abortion isn't going to reduce abortion. It's only going to push this critical health care out of a doctor's office and into the margins.
Genevieve Marnan is with Right to Life of Michigan.
I think that the more states that protect life, the unborn life legally, the better off we are.
The ground has been softened further by a ruling the Supreme Court made 3 days ago. On Monday, the 5 conservative justices broke with a long-standing 1979 decision in Nevada versus Hall that permits a sovereign state to be sued in another state's courts without consent. Okay. Plain English time again. Essentially, that means it's overturning a 40-year precedent, basically saying that the Supreme Court can indeed hear cases that overturn existing law.
But the point is that the court showed a willingness to overrule its past cases. Roe versus Wade is a 1973 case. This suggests that the court might be more willing to overrule Roe versus Wade, and that's what Justice Breyer was complaining about in his dissent.
So what does Alabama's legislation and a slew of similar legislation restricting, narrowing, or outright banning abortion mean to Michigan? Again, that depends on who you talk to.
We want to expand legal protection to all human life, including those in the womb. And I think that the time is ripe to overturn Roe versus Wade and send the decision back to each individual state.
The ACLU is prepared to sue to make sure that women maintain the right to abortion.
And of course, that takes us right back to the Michigan state law, which bans abortion. So that said, our constitutional law expert from Wayne State University Law School, Chris Lund, says it does take some years, sometimes as many as 5 years, to even get a case to the Supreme Court. However, by then, the political climate could actually change. But there are some Michigan cases already in the chute, so to speak, that could actually push that Roe v. Wade issue. No crystal ball on this one from any of our experts we talked to, but Karen, this is clearly a flashpoint.
Very much so. All right, thank you, Paula. Did you know Americans received more than 26 billion robocalls last year? The FCC might make it easier to stop those calls. Still ahead, what a new proposal will do and what it won't. Dr. McGeorge.
Hey, Karen, in good health, is someone in your family worried about memory loss and dementia? Lots of Americans are, but many of you, well, you're not taking very obvious steps that might help. Plus, a toothbrushing alert for parents with young children.
All right, Doc, up first, a purse snatching caught on camera, the story behind the video, including the kindness of strangers and the suspect's disturbing background. We'll be right back.